My name is Jonetta Roberts. I am a board member of Molo Village Community Development Corporation, and it is our pleasure, and on behalf of St. Peter's United Church of Christ, to welcome you all to this amazing funding announcement. We are going to keep our program short and relevant this afternoon. So it is my pleasure to announce our first speaker this morning. Leadership matters, relationship matters, support matters when you're doing amazing community work, especially projects of magnitude. We, on behalf of the teams here, believe that Mayor Greg Fisher has been just that to us. And it is my pleasure to welcome him here to the podium with remarks.
Thank you, Janetta, and good afternoon, everybody. It is really good to be here. You know, it could always be worse. It's cold, yes, but it's not. The wind's not blowing 20 miles an hour or anything like that. It's not Friday when it's going to be like 5 degrees. So, welcome everybody out. And it is cold, but my heart is warm. My heart is full on a day like today by the fact that we get to celebrate here at this really wonderful community investment here with my friend James Zetta Ferguson, who my wife and her worked together long before I knew you were a preacher or a community leader or any of that good stuff. But really proud to be here with you today. Earlier today I spent the morning just over here at the Baxter Community Center where construction to revitalize that wonderful center has started and will be completed in June, mid-year 24 or so. And if you would, if you close your eyes and you go back 4 or 5 years and you think about what this looked like here, Reverend Vincent James, before all this investment started taking place in the community, from Molo Villages Phase 1, Beecher, and then fast forward now, when are we going to be done here, James? That about a year and a half, 2 years or so? 2 years or so. Fast forward 2 years. Beecher Terrace is complete. The community center is complete. Phase 1's done. Phase 2 is done. And think about all the pitter-patter of the little kids and all the smiling and all the laughter. And Ron Yale Smith and Black Coffee's a big national chain at that time. Come on. Let's hear it for Black Coffee over there. That's right. It takes hard work, but hard work is good work when you're helping people, and that's what always has been at the center of this work here at St. Peter's, and the zeal of a woman that doesn't know defeat, just keeps working. We're really proud to announce that Louisville Metro government will be investing $2 million in CDBG funds, Community Development Block Grant funds, to revitalize this iconic building behind us here. Jeff O'Brien, the Louisville Forward team, thank you for your leadership on this. Reverend Vincent James is here now, who's CEO of the Dare to Care, but ran our community building in the toughest of times for the city's history. But VJ, thank you so much for everything. Vernay Goatley, who runs our Human Relations Commission. I'm leaving some folks out, but just know I love y'all. I appreciate everybody for their role in the State Representative Colonel Pam Stevenson over here, an outstanding mind and a big heart. Thank you. So $2 million, along with others, will allow for this over 10,000 square foot church to be converted into a mixed-use property, housing and worship chapel, nonprofit offices, resource library, Dare to Care food bank, and additional neighborhood amenities and services. Amazing that you even had the vision, my Reverend. So for so many decades, we know that areas in our city and around the country have been disinvested in. And it's been the impact of institutional racism, redlining. Our job is to say, okay, learn from the history. It's the critical truth. But then do something about it today so we can create a platform for better tomorrows. And that certainly has been one of my goals as mayor since I started 12 years ago. This project being celebrated here today is part of over $1.5 billion that we've been able to invest directly or indirectly with other partners here in the West End, the neighborhood, with an awful lot of it coming to the great Russell neighborhood. anchor development strategy. On the west side, Norton Sports Healthcare and Learning Center. That was city-owned property that we deeded to the Urban League, put the first $10 million in toward that project. On the north side, Waterfront Park Phase 4. On the south side, all the Broadway revitalization from 18th to 28th Street, 16th Street, the housing there. And then, of course, on the east side, Beecher Terrace redevelopment. And this fine project right here is an example of a project that came along because of all that activity. Invest on the perimeters, start filling in, and start radiating out to the other 9 neighborhoods here in West Louisville. So these are catalytic investments, and guess what? It's working. Anybody doesn't think it's working doesn't get out very much. So they need to come out and see the magic and be part of the solution, or get out of the way. So this kind of work is we've made good progress on, but it's got to continue moving forward as well, and it will, because we got great leaders like the Dr. Reverend James Etta Ferguson, the support of people and organizations like Reverend Dr. Patrick Dugan, Executive Director of the United Church of Christ Church Building and Loan Fund, an inspirational orator, if I remember correctly, and yes, I do. And I really want to say thank you to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development as well. They're the source of these CDBG funds. We get an allocation every year. It's kind of like an alphabet soup. You're like, what is all of this stuff when you're a new mayor? But what you find out is they're acronyms that change people's lives and give people opportunity, whether it's investments like this or housing. They're wonderful things to release human potential. That's how we define compassion. So it allows us to keep our money in the neighborhoods and ensure the dollars rotate and wealth rotates through the neighborhoods. That's why we also dedicated $51.5 million to our down payment assistance and home repair programs. And it's hard to say I have a favorite program as a mayor, but because there's a lot of favorites. It's like having a favorite child. But our down payment homeowner assistance program and our repair program allow people to experience wealth building that had been taken away from them before. That's a lot of wealth building we're doing through these home ownership programs by giving the first $20,000 to a qualified person so that they can have the down payment money, and then they just pay the mortgage because they've been paying rent for decades. How about paying a mortgage so you got something at the end of it? So this is the work that comes together with our partners at HUD in the federal government as well. So I just want to thank Jeff O'Brien and his team. Thank you. I want to thank our incredible partners at HUD. When you think about just the last 10 to 15 years, Park Duval, Liberty Green, Shepherd Square, Beecher Terrace, in terms of the investment in our community and the quality of housing that's resulted from that. I want to thank our Housing Authority for obviously being partners with that. And I want to close about James Etta here, Reverend Ferguson. One, the spiritual leadership you have is inspirational. She, when you read the good book, she walks the talk, day in and day out. Who you nourish spiritually, or some people will just look the other way. You're the real deal. And when she has this church right here and saying, how in the world are we going to take care of this? It costs a lot of money to take care of something like this. And she ministers to many people that have been left behind. This is when the mind of an entrepreneur kicks in. Well, what about if we develop this and we bring these partners in? And people say, yeah, right, No, I'm serious. I'm not going to give up. So phase 1 took 7 years, maybe? 8? Yeah, a little bit. Most people would have given up 5 different times. Not James Etta Ferguson. Beautiful project, 100% leased. Now she said, we got to get to phase 2. And so instead of everybody saying, James Etta, who? Said, can we help you? Can we help you? And it's amazing how fast this come together. It came together because Past performance is the best indicator of future success. And the most important thing you invest on in any project is the people. And James Ed, we're so proud that you call Louisville home and that you've given so much to our city. We love you and we appreciate you. And today is a tremendous testament to the beauty and love that you represent. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor Fisher. Next, we are happy to have a representative from HUD with us today, Anita Bowles. She's Program Manager for HUD's Office of Community Planning and Development, Louisville Field Office. Anita?
I will reiterate that HUD has $2 million in community planning and development, community development block grant funds that will be used to preserve and renovate St. Peter's Church here in the Russell neighborhood. And it will benefit the community greatly. The village at West Jefferson has been a signature development in the Russell neighborhood. It's owned and operated by the local community and has attracted new businesses, including a bank and sit-down restaurant. You know, it's very important for communities to have access to these facilities right here in your own backyard. Convenient and focused on the community's needs. Supporting these community-led projects is of equal importance to those of us at HUD, whose mission is to create strong, sustainable, inclusive communities and quality, affordable homes for all. I've been with HUD for many, many years. We won't say how many, but I can say that 20 plus of those years have been in the Office of Community Planning and Development, and I most recently became the program manager in that office. But I have only worked the last few years with Louisville, Jefferson County Metro government, specifically the Coalition, the Housing Authority, and many nonprofit agencies that administer our programs here in Louisville and Jefferson County. In particular, today, we celebrate the wonderful work that will continue in the revitalization of the Russell neighborhood. Thank you.
So we're standing here on church land. Molo Village Community Development Corporation owns the village at West Jefferson, but we do all this work for residents. And it's my pleasure to introduce Thomas Williams, who holds all three. He's a Molo Village board member, he's a deacon at the church, and he's a resident of our community. So we'll hear next from Thomas.
This today is a good day for me because some 13 years ago, I got connected to this church. First, I got married here at this church. We worshiped here at this church. I seen lives being changed at this church, and I said I wanted to be a part of the vision. And the vision was for everybody in this community to have a living wage, have a roof over their head, and have food to eat, and for the kids to have a place to be safe. So as me and my wife, now of 13 years, decided we're gonna be a part of the change that we want to see, we decided to invest into the Russell neighborhood, and we bought our property here on West Jefferson back 6 years ago. It was a abandoned house that they were using for all sorts of illegal things, but we went in and we did what my pastor did. We had a vision and we built it from the ground up and made it home. So this church not only is my home, but my second home is right up the street. So I can identify with what's going on in the neighborhood, talk to the neighbors about what is going on, good or bad, and then take it back to our board at Molo and take it back to my pastor and be a part of the change that we want to see happen in West Louisville. I thank Mayor Fisher for walking with us. I've seen him over at this church just as much as some of the members, assisting us in what we've seen. Patrick Dugan helping us along the way, and Chad Abbott coming in and just everybody doing what we see needs to be done, because it truly takes a village. And as we come together and do what we're called to do, this place will be a better place. I remember the Russell neighborhood, growing up in this Russell neighborhood. I remember the activities, the positive, the families. I remember all the good stuff, so we're going to take back our land. We're going to take back our community, but it's going to take all of us. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for sharing with us in the vision. Thank you, Pastor, for writing it big. She asked us when we first started talking to Patrick Dugan, Reverend Dugan, are you all in? And we had a few people raise their hand, but we had a few people that raised their hand and didn't finish the race. See, it's not for the swift. It's not for the ones that's going to run and make it. It's the ones that's going to stand through the adversity, stand through the trials, the tribulations, stand because we believe in Russell and we believe in the community. Because one thing we can invest, put all kind of buildings in, but if we don't build up the people, it's for nothing. You all have a blessed and wonderful day. Thank you for coming out.
Vision is important, and having leaders in this community with this scale of vision is rare. We can talk about vision all day, though, but who's going to match it with resources? Who's going to match it with funding? Even a listening ear during the tough times. No, she never quit, but she also needed encouragement. Who would be in the trenches with us every step of the way, and even just landed on a plane within 2 hours. So it's my pleasure to welcome to the podium Reverend Dr. Patrick Dugan, who's the Executive Director of the United Church of Christ Church and Building Loan Fund. Patrick?
Next year in 1st of July, we're going to celebrate the 170th anniversary of the United Church of Christ Church Building and Loan Fund at the National Gathering of the United Church of Christ in Indianapolis. And we'll be screening for probably the 50th time the documentary on this project. It is such a wonderful occasion to be here today. Once again, every chance I get, I'm here. I'm almost like the mayor. I'm here more than some people who live here. But it is a full circle moment for me. 19 years ago in January, I started working for the Nassau County Economic Development, and I administered CDBG funds for Nassau County. Nassau was then the 4th largest urban consortium in hub. I think it might still be. And to see that today the mayor and HUD have agreed to invest $2 million into this project is an affirmation of the great work that has been completed. And it's an affirmation of the leadership of James Etta Ferguson and all of you. This is a great project and a great community, and we are just so excited to be a part of Phase 2. The Church Building Loan Fund is continuing to walk alongside Pastor Jay and her team. So I'm just here to say thank you, Mayor. Thank you, HUD. Thank you, Louisville, for embracing this project and making sure it happens. I'm seeing faces I've seen many times. How you doing, Dr. McCann? It's good to see you. And Hal Covert is here, who's been an important part of this project long before it was anything, offering his architectural services. Thank you, Hal. But we're just excited today. And we want to bring greetings from our General Minister and President and the entire United Church of Christ, who knows all about what's going on in Louisville, the great work of Pastor Ferguson. And I just want to say that this investment is representative of the leading edge of what's going on with the religious properties in our country. That many are, and there are many in Louisville that are empty, abandoned, but almost every religious property is in transition. And many churches and many communities can't figure out what to do with them. How do you take something like this and make it productive again? And So when I think about this project and look at it and see what has happened, this is not just, oh, it's a nice building and good things have happened. This represents the leading edge of what folks are thinking about when they want to redevelop a church property. And we call it deploying assets for mission. The religious purpose is important, but as Mayor Fisher pointed out, walking the talk and doing it through everyday activities of feeding and educating and helping people through addictions and finding a way after losing your way in life. That's really what our church is all about. What we do inside is great, but how we impact the community and the cities and the regions we're in is far greater. So I'm proud to be a part of this work. You know, you can count on me, James Zetta. She picks up the phone. Yes, I'm doing it. And I'm thankful for all of you, for the mayor, for the city of Louisville, and everybody who's had a part in making this happen. Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all.
I've had the pleasure of working for Reverend Dr. James Zetta Ferguson for 5 years. I like that she's so humble that you can call her pastor, you can call her James Zetta. And I remember sitting, and when I first started with her, to understand all the titles she held, and she so humbly went down the line. She's a professor, senior pastor, executive director and founder of Molo Village. But I'll never forget, during one of our first meetings, she said, but being a pastor is my first job. And she hired me to lead off on the new commercial building. We had fun, but at the end of the day, she never lost sight of reopening the doors of the church, literally. And for that, I'm thankful. And she also tells our team often, we're Christians, that we are the hands and feet of Jesus and God right here on earth. So it has been my pleasure to serve under her. And it's my pleasure to welcome her up here to talk about our new project and what's ahead. Pastor Ferguson.
Oh, Lord, this is amazing. First, let me thank you, Mayor Fisher and Metro Government, for your support, and Jeff O'Brien and the Louisville Forward team, and Anita Bowles from HUD for your extraordinary donation. $2 million is no chump change. And so we are excited that you have made this donation toward the renovation of this historic church. In 2014, because of environmental and maintenance challenges, we moved from this old structure and we relocated to a temporary site up the street. This building was literally falling down around us. The plaster was falling. We had lead paint, we had molding, we had a whole lot of issues. And so we had no choice but to move. And when we left, Mayor, we were naive, believing that we would move back in about 4 years. But God had a different plan in mind for the St. Peter's faithful. Our journey led us to truly become a lighthouse, which we had touted for years that we were a lighthouse in this community. And our journey led us to truly becoming a lighthouse in this community, not only through ministry, but also through community development. We soon partnered with our sister organization, Molo Village CDC, to develop the village of West Jefferson, which opened in March of 2021, bringing many resources to this community. Now we have come full circle, and the time is right to restore and return to the Beecher community in which we love and we are called to serve. So we're excited. We're excited to begin the renovations of this facility, which will not only include a space for worship and spiritual formation, but it will also be a multi-purpose facility to continue our work of community engagement, outreach, and development, bringing more resources to this community. Now, we're not naive any longer. And we know that we need to raise some $3 million more, but we have assembled a great support of great developmental partners, which include, of course, Molo Village CDC, Patrick Dugan and the United Church of Christ, Church Building and Loan Fund, AIM Consulting and Development Corp., Trinity Church, Wall Street Philanthropies, Hal Colbert, our architect. Hal, raise your hand over here. This beautiful rendering is his creation, 40 and 1, and others. So, if it be God's will, not our will, but God's will, our hope for the St. Peter's United Church of Christ faith community is to reopen by year-end 2023, perhaps early 2024, but we're going to speak it into existence. The end of the year 2023, and what a glorious day that will be. We're excited, and we could not have asked for a better Christmas present.